Hey guys, back with another video, and today I'm going to be going over 7 different types of clocks in Minecraft. So you can see they're all redstone clocks, and I have redstone lamps coming from all of them. And most of them run at different times. They're all 1 block wide, and they're all like different types using different mechanics. So let's just start off with this one. This one is a clock that I haven't seen anywhere else before, but I call it the observer clock. Now basically you have 2 observers placed opposite. This lets one observer activate, and that activates the observer on the other side, and you can see this output coming out of it. Now if you try to place a redstone lamp here, it'll just be constantly on because that's a 1 tick pulse firing every 2 ticks. So what I had to do is I had to place this sticky piston here to extend and retract a redstone block so that it'll turn on and off. Now the second one is one that you're probably all familiar with. It's the hopper clock. So you have 2 hoppers running into each other, and you have an item inside one of them, and it'll move back and forth. And basically the idea is when it's in this hopper, then this comparator will read it as having something in it. So it'll have a redstone output, which this repeater will read and send it into the lamp. And also the item will then be transferred back into the other hopper. Now on to the third one. This one is a repeater clock. So basically you have a redstone repeater running into some redstone, which runs into another redstone repeater, which runs back into the original redstone repeater, which cycles it. You'll have to send a short pulse into these repeaters, so you can do that with a lever, like I have here. You can take a screenshot if you want to see how to make one. So yeah, that's it for the third clock. Now onto the fourth clock, which is a redstone torch clock. Now for this clock, what you'll need to do is you'll have a redstone torch with power coming from it, and that power will power another redstone torch, turning it off. And so that redstone will run into another redstone torch, turning that redstone torch on, which will then run into the original redstone torch, turning it off. So it's pretty simple. You can have 3 redstone down here, and a block above the middle one. Place a redstone torch on the side and a redstone dust on top. Then to the opposite side of the redstone torch, you can have another redstone torch on a block next to the redstone, and a block on top of that, and a redstone torch on top of that facing the redstone. And that'll create. Now onto the fifth clock, which is a minecart clock, and basically the idea is if a minecart is on top of this detector rail here, it'll power it, which will give a redstone output. And so I have this redstone down here detecting whether or not it's on the detector rail, which it will be about half the time with these 5 rails here. You can see I have 2 redstone blocks powering the rails, and the detector rail is right in the middle of them. This is not in the middle of the tracks, but 1 block off. Now moving on to the 6th clock, which is second to last, we have a piston clock. So basically the idea is when this piston is retracted, it will power itself, and when it's extended, the power will stop. So what I've done is I have a redstone block here, and it powers this redstone down here. And this redstone power will, if we look underground, you can see the redstone will run up into and power this block here, which will then run back into the piston. There's a little bit of delay so that it's not instantaneous, or else it won't work. And the power will also run into the redstone lamp. So that's it for the 6th redstone clock. Now it is time for the final redstone clock, and I will call this the daylight clock. And so this is basically like an actual clock that runs on Minecraft time. You can see all I have here is a daylight sensor, and so it has to be a 20-minute long cycle. But if you see, if I set the time to night, then you can see that it turns off. And so it's like a 20-minute long clock. And so yeah, that's about it for this video. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.